Okay, so today we are talking about 4 high interest investments that you should be making in 2022. Because let's just say you have a little bit of money, but you don't really want to use that money to put in anything speculative. You don't want to invest in the stock market right now. You don't want to be putting anything in crypto or speculative NFTs, but you want to have that money working for you. You want to be earning a little bit of income off of your money. If you've been watching my videos, you know that inflation is kicking your buddy's tail. And if you don't at least match inflation or more, you are essentially losing your money. So this video is about what should I put my money in? What are 4 high yield investments that allow me to earn some income, but at the same time, have a lower risk profile, not in something speculative, and we are starting right now. Hey, what is up everybody? My name is Shaun. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I am a life, finance, and fitness coach, helping people create life on their terms in just 90 days. So I will put some links below in the description box to my website and some of my program offerings, things like that. But if you are new to this channel, welcome. If you are all about money, investing, entrepreneurship, basically living life on your terms, this is probably the channel for you. So be sure to check out some of my other videos after watching this one, of course. I will put some links below in the description box to some of my most popular videos or ones I think could be very important or relative to you at this point. Now, like I stated, if you've been watching some of my videos lately, you know I've been talking a lot about inflation and how it's really been kicking in at least 7 to 9% over the last year over year. So what that means is if your money is not growing at least the rate of inflation or higher, you are essentially losing money. Now, there are times when we have some money that we don't want to put in investments, whether it's stocks or index funds, or if it's crypto or NFTs, but we still want to be earning income off of our money. So let's talk about 4 investments that you can make that can earn you anywhere from 9% all the way up to 20% interest on your money. Now keep in mind with these 4 different investments, they have different risk profiles. So I'm going to provide some that have very low risk and then some that actually have a little bit more risk. So depending on how much interest you're wanting to earn and what your risk tolerance is, there will be a great option for you. So the very first investment that I have on our list is called outlet finance. So in a previous video, I actually talked in a lot of detail about outlet finance. And so instead of talking about that in a lot of detail in this video, I'll leave a link below in the description box to that particular video. But just so you know, outlet finance is essentially a decentralized financial application that looks and feels much like a savings account, and you can earn up to 9% APY. And once again, without going into a lot of detail, essentially what you're doing is you're putting your money and converting it into a stable coin. Now that stable coin is then lent out to collateralized borrowers who are wanting to use that money to invest in other things like crypto and stuff. So in terms of risk factor on outlet finance, while it's not the least risky thing, it's not actually the most risky thing either. I would say it's probably moderate in terms of risk, maybe slightly riskier than moderate, but overall it's a pretty safe investment with a lot of things in place for securing your money and making sure that it is protected. Okay, so the second item on our list is one for those who want to have absolutely zero risk involved and just want to know that your money is safe. I don't have to worry about anything, and that is a Series I bond savings account. Now, for those of you who do not know what a bond is simply a note or an agreement where you, the lender, are giving it to the borrower, and that borrower is agreeing to pay back the principal amount that they borrowed plus a specific amount of interest on that money. Now, what makes the Series I bond kind of unique is that it is a combination of a fixed rate plus the rate of inflation. So currently the Series I bond pays 7.12% as long as you purchase it before April of 2022. The interest is compounded semi-annually, and your interest payments will be paid out when you cash out your bond. So this brings me to the next important point. You have to hold the bond for at least 1 year, but you can cash out anywhere between the 1 year up to 30 years. Now, if you cash out before the 5-year mark, you will lose the previous 3 months of interest payments. So what that means is, let's say you held for 18 months and you decided you wanted to cash out. Well, essentially, when you cash out, you would be paid interest for the first 15 months of the 18 months that you held that particular bond. Some other awesome things about the bond is that there is no state income tax on a bond. However, there is federal income tax. It also has a relatively low minimum purchase. If you're doing an electronic purchase, you only have to spend $25. And if you're doing a paper purchase, you will have a $50 minimum purchase. Now, keep in mind that the maximum purchase you can have is $10,000 for electronic, and the max you can have for a paper purchase is $5,000 per bond. And you can buy these on Treasury Direct website. So in terms of risk profile, this is the absolute least risky. So if you're wanting something that you just know is like guaranteed, I don't have to worry about it, this is it. Now, technically there is some risk. If the United States defaults as a whole and it cannot pay back its debts, then yes, you would technically lose out on your bond. However, the likelihood of that happening is insanely low. And if that were to actually happen, we'd have a lot more to be worried about than just getting our bond back. Okay, now make sure you stay to the very last one, because the very last one on our list pays 19.52% APY. The third investment on our list is Gemini Earn, and with this one you can earn just over 8% APY on your money. The cool thing about it is that there's actually no maximum, so unlike the Series I bond where you're kind of capped at a certain amount, you can essentially put millions of dollars into Gemini Earn if you really wanted to. Now, if you've not heard of Gemini before, Gemini is actually a crypto exchange that was started by the Winklevoss twins, who were actually some of the original co-founders of Facebook before shenanigans happened down the road. They got booted out, and then all of a sudden they came back and started Gemini. Now, the reason you're able to earn so much money with Gemini Earn is because essentially what you're doing is when you put your money into Gemini Earn, that is getting converted into a Gemini stable coin that is pegged against the US dollar. So this is very similar to outlet finance. Now, what happens at that point is once your money's been converted to the Gemini stable coin, that money is now being lent out to people who want to borrow it so they can go off and do other crypto investments or whatever they want to do. So think of it kind of like a bank. You know, when you go to the bank and you deposit your money doesn't just sit there in an account waiting for you to come back. When the bank collects your money, they then take that money and lend it to other people, and they charge interest. So essentially think of it kind of like you being the banker in a way. You're taking your money and you're putting your money up for other people to borrow and lend. But after they borrow the money, they are going to have to return that money and give you interest on that. And this is what allows you to be able to earn a much higher interest than going to a bank and putting it into, like, you know, a Chase high yield savings, which earns you like 0.01%. Now, in terms of risk tolerance, this is not quite as low as doing the Series I bond. However, Gemini is a really big company and is backed by some pretty big players, and it's been around for quite some time. So there's a very high likelihood that your money is gonna be very, very stable and safe in this particular thing. Of course, nothing is actually risk-free, so I'd kind of put this at the moderate risk level. Okay, so the fourth and final one on our list is one that earns 19.52%, and that is Anchor Protocol. Now, please keep in mind that of all the things I've talked about already, this is by far the most risky path that you can take. It's not that it's like a gamble, but at the same time, it's definitely not nearly as safe as just doing like the guaranteed bond that's backed by the government. So your money's not gonna be backed by anything. But the way Anchor Protocol works is it's kind of like Gemini Earn. It's also very much similar to even outlet finance in the fact that you're gonna put your money on a crypto exchange that's gonna get converted into a stable coin. And of course, once that stable coin is made, it's gonna be lent out to people who are wanting to borrow money for crypto. Now, like I've said before, there are a lot of people who wanna borrow money for their crypto for different reasons. Some people may wanna do a speculative play. They wanna borrow more money, hold some things up for collateral to then use that investment to try to maximize potential. But there's some people who have their money in a particular crypto coin and they don't wanna have to sell it. They just wanna be able to borrow against their portfolio. And this is a way that you can do that. And so what you're doing is you're putting up the money that's being lent. And of course, at that point, you're gonna be getting interest on your money for that specific reason. So please note that this is not actually financial advice. This is something that I would highly suggest that you look into in a lot of detail. I'll leave a link below for more information on Anchor Protocol. This is a very good potential of earning some high interest on your money. Now, like I said, the risks that are involved are the fact that it's not backed by anything. There's no, government insurance or anything like that to protect your money. So if there's a smart contract failure, if the company bellied up, or if they decide to just run away with your money and just leave you in the dust, there's nothing that guarantees you getting that money back. However, there are some great things in play to help protect your money the best you can. There are insurances that you can buy to help protect your money in case of a smart contract's failure, things like that. But keep in mind that these smart contracts are fairly intelligent. That's why they're called smart contracts. So there is some pretty good safety measures in place to begin with. But this is by far one of the highest yield things I have seen to this date. My suggestion would be, if you're deciding to play into this particular thing like Anchor Protocol, I would start with a very, very small amount that you're not afraid of losing. If something really did happen, it's not the end of the world. You're not putting your life savings into this thing. It's not like a ride or die, all or nothing YOLO on this type of thing. So I would definitely suggest putting a very small amount, play around with it a little bit, make sure you read the fine print like every single thing that I talk about on my videos. do your own research, make sure you understand what you're getting into. But anyways, those are the 4 investments, the 4 high yield best investments that you can make in 2022 for a really good way of earning some income on your money without having to invest in anything speculative. Now, if this video gave you some value and you're still watching this video, please do me a solid and go ahead and smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button, little notification bell for more videos on topics like this. If you're all about money, investing, entrepreneurship, living life on your terms, this is a channel for you, so be sure to check out some of my other videos. Let's get out there and let's build that dream.